You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Ludicrously weed is one crate at least.
Ludicrously sized glass water pipes.
Tila Tequila has created a furor.
Gotta get off my back, Alfred.
I'm a man of the bat cave. Okay.
A man of the cave, Alfred. If it's not fucking punk rock, it's not cool. Welcome to Saturday Night Bite episode 4. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined as always by my co-host,
Lance.
That's right. We're here. It's a beautiful Saturday evening in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin. And Lance, you had brought to my attention something you wanted to talk about. Do we want to just start right off with the showstopper?
I think so.
Okay.
We're just going to come out all guns blazing. This was brought to my attention, I know this is 2013, late 2013.
I didn't know.
Tila Tequila.
Yes.
She rose to prominence by being strangled by a football player.
Well, no. She rose to prominence from Tila Tequila's A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila on MTV.
Oh, okay, so I know even less about her then.
Oh, wow. That was the reality TV show, dating show she did where she was bi, so there was guys and girls on there, and she picked a guy.
And she'd
a lot of people said that they assumed that she was just lying about being bi to be interesting on TV because it was obvious she only wanted the guy.
I don't know how that type of what do you call that lifestyle work with where we're going with this article with her new views.
With her new views, she may have changed. But
I don't think you know who would be very happy with this type of attitude.
You know who. He who must not be named. No, did you know...
We're teasing this. This is going to really pay off.
Sean Merriman was an NFL player that she dated, and allegedly he choked her, and then they just settled out of court, I'm assuming. He just gave her a bunch of money.
Yeah, he didn't go to jail.
No, I mean...
He was married or engaged to her, too. What a nut.
So we don't know if that ever happened again.
But he was on steroids.
I mean, who knows? He's a football player.
That's true.
I
should single him out.
Professional athlete, football player, accused of mistreating his wife physically. Yeah, of course.
Everybody knows that all their wives have the best intentions as well. These football players.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure some of them are fine, but
You know what I mean, though. There's no gold diggers. That never happens.
Yeah, it's true. That's never happened.
I mean, obviously, you don't harm people, but
no. And then Tequila also famous for
everybody's awful. That's a point I'm trying to make.
In the 2000,
they're all scum.
Late 2000s gathering of the Juggalos was famous for performing music on one of the side stages and having feces thrown at her from an outhouse that had broken or something, and she was so bad that the Juggalo fans hated her so much because she was fake. She was MTV, and that they threw.
You don't think it was just that
the
Juggalos
throwing poop?
Had the feces and didn't know what else were they gonna do with it?
It's been an entire weekend of the gathering. I've been carrying around these feces in my back pocket. I haven't had anyone to throw them at. Now's the time.
I like the fact that how
to
try to win them back.
Yeah, exactly. And they booed her even louder. So they're like, we don't want your fake boobs.
Fucking great.
Oh yeah, it did not work out.
You're doing a great job as a singer when you start stripping.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what all the best singers do, by the way.
Madonna.
Oh yeah.
Well, she did.
Well, she did actually.
But
that was when she was going downhill.
That's true. You're right. That was the downhill. She was like, I can't.
I like the fact that the Juggalos, if civilization started with them, that it would never have fucking gone anywhere.
Well, they would have been like magnets. How does this work?
How many years would a civilization of Juggalos fucking exist?
Oh man, everyone just fucking
4 years
baked all the time.
How long before they're all dead? 100 Juggalos live in a community.
Okay, you're saying you want not the gathering of Juggalos, a community of Juggalos.
Yes.
On an island. This is a reality TV show where we got right here.
Yes.
So let's get the fucking dopest ass carnival, the dark carnival fans, full hatchet or whatever they call it.
We let them pick
the whole lifestyle.
Well, no, we let them pick the supplies they need.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
That's
Oh yeah,
gonna be
oh
even
yeah,
better.
yeah. We don't furnish anything. We're like,
Here's a couple crates of things. Yeah. What do you think you need?
Yeah, you're going to live on an island. Here's like some like basic like rice and like water purifier.
Well, no, they have to choose that though.
Okay.
They'd be like, well, one crate's weed.
Oh, you're saying that they get 2 full crates to go, and they get to pick to put them in there.
Let's give them 10 crates. It's 100 people.
100 people.
10 crates.
Okay.
Like one crate for every 10 people.
A crate for every 10 people. I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of ludicrously...
weed is one crate at least.
Ludicrously sized glass water pipes that are like... Like intricate, and then they need like a lot of padding, so they take up like a whole quarter of a crate for this giant dragon bong.
You don't think they'll figure out how to like make bongs out of coconuts? You don't think
someone will want to do that, but like they're gonna want they want their old Smoky, the dragon, like pipe. They need to have that. Fago, clearly, it's gonna take up quite a bit of one of the crates.
Khaki pants.
The 3 liter
is another crate.
Fago, you know it's good because they bottle it not in 2 liter but 3 liter bottles.
Or what are those called? Not khaki pants. Cargo shorts. That's a crate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cargo shorts. They don't wear khaki pants. They wear cargo shorts.
That's what I meant to say.
Jean shorts, probably. Right? I think those are out though. It's all cargo shorts now.
Those
oversized
necklaces with hemp on them with like a little stone in the middle.
Oversized hockey jerseys.
Yeah.
Just tons of them. What else is a Juggalo? Like hair products, like gel and like color.
Yeah.
Or dreads? They do a lot, right? You don't really need anything for dreads. Just need to not wash your hair for months.
A lot of them just kind of like. Do they have dreads? I don't think dreads is a standard look for Juggalos. No. I think you're getting the more the like spiky bleached hair.
Yeah.
With the Juggalos.
All right, Doritos.
I was gonna say I forgot about that.
You gotta have Doritos. You gotta have Doritos and Fago. Like Red Pop and like Mountain Mists, or Moon Mists, I think it's called. Like that's like a third of every crate is automatically taken up by weed.
Like Call of Duty, yeah, like every
Call of Duty. It's an island. Like where do you hook my Xbox up, bro, fam? I don't know.
Dude, that's the best part. They use up their space on Call of Duty and they have no way to actually play it.
That's right.
Once they get there,
yeah,
they're just like. But hey, you didn't tell them that, you know.
That's true.
It's up to them to deduce what they should put in there.
Yeah, you told them they're going to an island. It's up to them to decide how to survive. You know, we can't let them. This is an experiment as much as it is a reality television program.
I think, honestly, an Insane Clown Posse CD would not even be in any of the crates.
The music is so
overlooked.
ancillary.
It'd be overlooked. Like, nobody even thought of it.
Somebody...
They get there, they're all wearing the makeup, and they're like... Yeah, let's put that on. Where is it? Does anybody have that?
Oh, I had to pack my weed. I didn't have enough room in the crate.
Whatever, man. Juggalo's lifestyle. It's not just music.
I would like to. I think the series would start off with Violent J and what's the name of the other one? Shaggy 2 Dope.
Right. I'm surprised you knew the other guy. That's a tougher one. Shaggy 2 Dope I actually knew.
Shaggy 2 Dope.
He's the thicker guy.
Yeah, Violent J.
They're like the Juggalo Uncle Cracker guy.
Yeah, Juggalo Uncle. I like how you're being nice. The thicker guy. You're not even. You know what I mean. You're trying to be friendly. No, because we're gonna pitch this to them. So they can start off with like the first episode will be like. I want it to be like. They go there and they have this insane party, you know?
Sure.
First night.
You gotta kick it off with a party, man.
And ICP will be there and do a concert, get everyone crazy, doing shit, and then they all have to wake up the morning after and everyone's off the island but them. And they gotta survive as a society.
Dude, I love
They've been like
it.
stranded after a concert.
So awesome.
And then they have the crates, of course, that they brought with them to the island, of which they may have used a bunch of stuff the night before. Broken, a drunken rancor. I love it.
By the way, you don't have to worry about procreation because no one's ever going to get laid there.
That's even though it's like a mixture of men and women, probably.
Yeah. They don't get laid, though.
No.
Juggalos don't get laid.
That just doesn't happen. Oh, God, you're making me think of Juggalos getting laid now. I know it doesn't happen, but you made me think of it.
Well, you're making fantasies now, John.
Dark fantasies.
Doesn't happen. But, you know, it's like if you had 100 buzzkills all in one fucking... area.
I know.
That you can't get. You're not gonna get.
Does anyone bring matches? I gotta light the skull candle.
Oh, I got a story about my dad.
Okay.
That's what happens on the island.
Okay. I thought your dad was secretly into the Insane Clown Posse.
I wish. It'd be great.
He'd be so much cooler.
I'd be like, dude, you're like that's a new thing.
Dude,
that's
if
like,
my dad
I mean, it's totally lame. Like, it's like I'm gonna laugh at you for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you know what, old guy getting into Juggalos, I respect the ridiculousness of it.
What if I went back to my?
I don't think my dad's ever done anything ridiculous. That I would respect. Do something really dumb.
What's
Dad.
the name of the Hatchet guy? Hatchet Man.
Hatchet Man.
Yeah.
Is he part of the Juggalos?
Yeah, but like that Hatchet, like fucking like bumper sticker that everyone has. Juggalo. It's a Juggalo thing.
Okay, he's like a mascot for them.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh man. Well, okay. What if I went back home, and my dad apparently he does a lot of woodworking like things as like his hobby.
Right.
Like making like he does wood turning, making like bowls and like candlesticks.
Out
and
of
shit.
wood.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
That's quite a skill.
I know. It's like something
tough.
that I could never do because I have zero skills. But I went home, and the bowl is just like fucking the Hatchet guy. Like in the middle of the bowl, and he's like, John, what do you think of this? He's like, are you down? Are you down with the Dark Carnival? I'm like, oh my
Dude,
God, no.
That's a fucking great prank now. When I'm like 50, I'm gonna like jump on a fucking bandwagon out of nowhere. Totally gonna just like play it like it's real.
I really want to
just
go
to see
to the Gathering of the Juggalos at some point.
like whatever it is. It's gonna be the dumbest thing. Could be Beanie Babies. Could be like Miley Cyrus in 2030, whoever that would be. I'm gonna just be like, hey, did you hear that? That's some good stuff. Or hey, I really like these Beanie Babies. Like, but the 2030 version, like or Pogs, whatever's big.
Whatever the Pogs.
I'm gonna jump
is.
on a fucking trend, hardcore, when I'm 50, just to shake things up. I'm already deciding.
Okay.
But anyway, let's get back to the Juggalo Island.
Okay. Yeah. No, please. I don't want to go back to the Juggalo Island. It smells of weed and fucking stale soda.
Are you gonna start like monologuing like Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now if we go back to the Juggalo Island? Mm-hmm. So okay.
Wait, are you saying that Marlon Brando is the original?
The horror.
The original. My God, my internet is being really slow right now.
I think Marlon Brando could have been a Juggalo.
That's what I'm saying. He's the original Juggalo. He cut up that fucking cow.
He laid around all day.
All right, here we go. Ask a Juggalo. What does the Hatchet guy symbol mean? He is Hatchet Man. That's it.
All right, that's all we got.
Oh no, I'm gonna get the whole thing. We got the Detroit Metro Times.
So I got a couple questions for you on Juggalo Island.
First off, he's not a Hatchet guy. He's Hatchet Man, and it's the symbol for Psychopath Records and its artists. Though most feel it's just a symbol of the Insane Clown Posse, it's a symbol of loyalty and looking out for the family and artists on the label, cutting down anything that gets in the way as they run beneath the streets.
Are they Morlocks? Or wait, they're under the streets now.
Originally,
the Juggalos have they gone subterranean?
Psychopathic Records was going to be called Mad Paperboy Records. And Hatchet was originally a crazy paperboy.
It was already taken, though, obviously.
Check this motherfucking shit out. It started out when ICP member Shaggy 2 Dope did a quick sketch on a napkin of this crazy paperboy that used to deliver papers in the hood, carrying the cleaver around, showing that he was mad crazy. They decided to name him the Hatchet Man.
That's terrific.
So that's it. This is a whole Ask a Juggalo.
They really thought that through. It's like, dude, can you believe I came up with the Hatchet Man on a napkin? Dude, I just thought of it. I was just at a diner, and I was like, what if a dude had a hatchet?
What if he'd be fucking crazy, wouldn't he?
Dude, he'd mean loyalty. That's what he'd mean. Like, what?
Dude, this is like a fucking column this guy does. It's called Ask a Juggalo.
Dude, yes.
There's a lot of them.
I think we're tapping into something special.
He's a 36-year-old Juggalo, apparently.
I like how he has to be the most depressing age a Juggalo could be.
I know. Well, like, the idea is, like, this guy's not a real Juggalo, though. Like, if he's, like, reading.
He started a website. He's already not one of us.
This is amazing. This is just like, dude, this is like everything you ever wanted to know. Literally, what does the hatchet guy symbol mean? Are Newports the preferred cigarette of the Juggalo?
Dude, it's amazing.
Ask a Juggalo. What is clown love? Why do Juggalos
wait.
whoop,
Don't
whoop?
just gloss over that. What is clown love?
Well, we're going to find out in a moment, my friend. we're going deep into the Dark Carnival.
You remember we tried to watch their Western movie?
Oh, Dope Money Rustler. What was it?
Dude, I don't know the name.
Dude, it's a Big Money Rustlers.
That sounds
I think,
about right.
or something like that.
That was...
Okay, clown love is as close to unconditional love as you can get. No matter the person or the situation, you're always showing love. Like when a clown has happy paint on. No matter the scenario or situation, he's always happy, right? Well, it's the same with clown love. No matter the way someone looks at their past, they're part of this family. They get shown much motherfucking wicked clown love, which is MMFWCL, which is... I understand why that the United States considered the Juggalos a street gang, because they have all these crazy symbols and terminology and words, you know what I mean? This is like a fucking biker gang.
But how do you paint love on your face?
Well, you draw a smile. You're always
that's
happy.
just a smiley face on a clown.
So that's the idea, is that
that's clown love, just having a smiley face on your...
Well, no, clown love is just the thought that you always are showing love no matter what's going on. Like how a clown's got his face painted smile on.
I guess they all smile, don't they?
Well...
Do they?
I don't know.
Are all the face... Okay.
What should people know before they consider going to the gathering of the Juggalos? Basically, it's just a place of nothing but love and good music. Well, debatable.
We already
friendship.
Touched on that.
Yeah. It's supposed to be represent Shangri-La or heaven on earth. Everything good with the world is there. And any troubles in the world, from the bills to your boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with you, anything, you just leave that at the gate when you come in.
I like how they just cater to people who can't pay bills,
who
don't have jobs, and who people leave them.
Dude, if you want
you have to, there's prerequisites.
If you want to have your car there, you have to pay a little bit. But camping is free. You can camp out. A lot of people, for some reason, don't even sleep. They don't even bring camping stuff. They just stay up for a whole 4 or 5 days. That's not true. They pass out at some point.
Unless they're on fucking methamphetamine.
Well,
I guess you wouldn't rule that
however
out.
long it is that year. And they just party the whole time. As far as water, there's always Juggalos helping out others and passing out water, hot dogs, food. I like he had to mention hot dogs, food, because hot dogs are not considered food.
I agree.
Anything that anyone would need. They also have vendors there, so any kind of food you'd want at a carnival or a fair, even exotic stuff. I think there was one vendor selling alligator. There's a lot of nudity, so a lot of times people under the age of 18 might not want to join the festivities. They're not disallowed. They might not want to join in the festivities. Other than that, there's games, rides, prizes, shows, concerts, anything can anyone have a good time for 4 days in the sun.
Where's the nudity come from?
Oh, it's horrible,
it's from the
old
crowd?
men and women. No, I've seen videos of this. They just walk around nude.
Oh, I hate...
It honestly sounds
Never seen a person who walked around nude that looked good. Ever. In a video or, they're like, oh, this is the nudist place.
Well, yeah, because the people that go to those places are people that have no fucking shame. Oh, I can just go to Juggalettes of the 2014 Gathering Not Safe for Work slideshow from the LA Times or LA Weekly. It's just a bunch of Juggalettes.
Before we get back, let's take a brief detour from the Juggalos.
We need to, because we had an actual topic we wanted to speak about.
We're getting back into this. Okay, Tila Tequila.
Yeah.
We can come back to the Juggalos.
Sure.
But I'm waiting for John to dig up some other good shit. But anyway.
Yes.
I had told John, so she got choked. She had a reality show where she was maybe bi, but not really. Let me look at this picture. I can tell by looking. I don't know, actually. I can't tell. Normally I'm good with that. Anyway.
Your bidar is off?
Bidar is off. Anyway. I'm just going to read the headline. This is 2013, and the photo is a professionally photographed, like lighting crew, makeup, green screen, whole thing. She's on a railroad tracks for some reason. I don't quite get that. She's holding a revolver type of gun, and well, just read the article. Tila Tequila wears Nazi uniform, calls Hitler a sweet kid in shocking Facebook rant.
That is terrible.
Sweet kid.
This is, oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm looking through the Gathering of the Juggalos.
We're both looking at the worst shit
it's
ever
fucking
at the
just
same
debaucherous.
time.
There's this fucking chick with her fucking tits out, and she's covered in grease from like one of those turkey legs you buy at one of the fair things.
Oh god.
And she's just like covered in beads. It's just, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna read this. Tila Tequila has created a furor.
I already congratulated the headline writer on that one because that's.
Oh, you're gonna love this. I'm gonna try to do a voice.
All right.
The shock-savoring former MTV star posted and later deleted a Facebook photo of herself wearing a swastika armband, Nazi uniform hat, and silver stripper getup while standing in front of Auschwitz.
What?
That's what that was. I didn't know what that was in the background.
Wow, she really is going full
That's just how
value.
train tracks. I mean, and then again, I wouldn't recognize Auschwitz if I saw it.
Yeah.
In a related post Monday evening, the ex-MySpace queen, so she's an MTV star and a MySpace queen, by the way, described Hitler as a special and sweet kid who was rejected by art schools and later bullied. Okay. Think he got his payback. She drew comparisons to her own life, saying she felt mocked and rejected when she tried to convert to Judaism in recent years.
What? So she was mocked and rejected probably because people were like, you're not fucking Jewish and you can't fake being Jewish to be cool. And she was like, oh, they hate me. It's like, yeah, because you're just doing this for attention. You asshole.
Well, when did these like sympathetic Hitler feelings come in? Like,
that's a bit.
Was that something that she mentioned when she went to the Judaism school?
Wait, she just talking about how great Hitler was?
She's like, he had some great paintings, though.
Yeah.
He always drew those weird dogs. What the fuck was wrong with Hitler, by the way? He's like, oh, here's some creepy-looking docile dogs. And I don't know why they're creepy. There's just something creepy about the way he drew dogs.
Okay.
Anyway, let me... And yet another post Monday.
So it wasn't just one post that
she's
she did.
Committed.
Yeah, pot committed. All in.
Tequila,
on the Nazis.
32, now 35 probably. Urged the readers to put aside their hatred
of the Nazis.
Trumpet fucking Nazism. I never said... Here's a good quote. I never said I hated anyone, but just because I feel sympathy, compassion, and forgiveness for others such as Hitler...
What? She's like, Jesus would have forgiven Hitler, so I am going to. And it's like, it's not how that works, Tila.
Means I am now a monster? ?
Yes.
All for trying to open your eyes to the truth
about Hitler.
That Hitler was not, all in caps, as bad as he was painted out to be. The Shot at Love alum also rambled that Fast and Furious stars... Oh, this is getting really good.
Oh, okay, yep, give me in.
Paul Walker's recent fatal car crash...
Oh, here we go.
...was... Oh, my God, I'm going to die. Was a ritualistic murder. And
at a charity event that he was at, where a car crashed.
And that other unidentified forces murdered her wife... Wait, her wife... Casey Johnson, the late daughter of New York Jets owner Woody Johnson.
What is this?
This is kind of I think
we're getting into the dark
the
web.
writer kind of
Wait, Casey Johnson?
Was she married to Tila Tequila?
Maybe she was.
Maybe that's where what that means. I didn't know that.
Casey Johnson, death. Tila Tequila. She died in 2010. At the age of like 31.
Okay, so she was with Tila Tequila and she died.
Yeah, shit.
Okay.
All right, Tila Tequila, your bi
after...
credentials are there. I think I just knew a bunch of like LGBT people that were like, no, she's not. And when the TV was on,
well, they're wrong.
I guess they were wrong. Yeah,
you
never know.
You gotta give her that much.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give her that.
Anybody you call your wife who's of the same sex.
This is like the worst. Johnson was born in Florida, the firstborn child of Nancy Frey, a socialite and former model, and the owner of the Jets. So already off to a great start. Your fucking deadbeat mom married a rich guy, and you're the kid. Wait, at the age of 14, she co-wrote a book with her father entitled "Managing Your Child's Diabetes." What?
Whoa.
She must have been diabetic.
How'd she die? Just skip to the end.
Skip to the end. You don't care about any of this. I
know.
don't see what all went on.
Read the whole Wikipedia thing.
She did some Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie fucking...
Sex tapes?
No.
Oh.
Like TV shows and dumb shit that they tried to do.
She one of those, like... She get paired up with Paris Hilton after the successful show.
All right.
Like one of the bombs.
Let's see here. She had been... Okay, here we go. Openly bisexual, dated men and women.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. Okay. After refusing to seek treatment for drug abuse and mental health issues, Johnson was cut off financially by her family, which led to the impounding of her Porsche, for which court records show Johnson owed Porsche Financial Services a total of $105,000. She was also sued by a nanny service, who won a $20,000 judgment against her. In 2009, she announced via Ustream that she and reality television... Ustream video. Like a fucking streaming service doesn't exist anymore.
Like
just
Periscope before Periscope?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That her and Tila Tequila were engaged. 4 days later, she stated they'd be changing her and her daughter's last name to Nguyen, which is Tila Tequila's legal surname. Though this never occurred. Apparently she has a daughter, too. So, great. On January 4th, Daily News reported that a maid found Johnson's dead body in the bedroom of her West Hollywood home.
Pills.
An unidentified 911 caller reported that Johnson was ice cold and her hands had turned blue. The caller also stated that Johnson was on medications and they often got all screwed up, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
She had died.
Anytime a dead in a bed.
Nope, this is what happened.
Pills.
Wow, it's not pills, actually. It's a lack of pills. Because, again, this is coming back to managing your daughter's diabetes.
Oh.
She was type 1 diabetic.
Oh, that's the bad one.
Uh-huh. Office announced that she had died of diabetic ketoacidosis, which is something that happens if you're a type 1 diabetes person and you don't take your insulin. Your body starts, not able to take care of the sugar. It just starts building up toxins. So that's something that happens over time. She'd neglected to take insulin and therefore died due to lack of proper medical treatment.
Or a secret group of people made her do that.
Yeah, made her not take her pills.
You decide. Tila Tequila just threw that out there.
I'm just saying Tila Tequila
Paul
probably was the
Walker.
one saying, medicine's made up by the government. You don't need to take your medicine.
I like trying to rope the Paul Walker death into that.
Yeah,
because
I know, right?
Was it that whole thing on video?
I think so, yeah.
He gets in the car. They go like a block and a half, and it's a fireball.
Yeah. It was like a horrible car accident.
Like he's like smiling though, getting his
Yep.
His own choice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sure
it was a fucking charity event, right? Right.
I'm sure the driver was like totally willing to like crash and explode and also die too.
Yeah. The driver who was a friend of Paul Walker's, I believe, and a stunt driver.
Oh, they're playing the long game.
Yeah, for real. Anyway,
fucking crazy.
Tila Tequila. Had arranged plans to seek custody of Casey Johnson's adopted daughter, Ava, who currently is under the legal custody of...
I'd give her custody. Yeah.
No, fuck no.
I know,
Oh my God, get that kid away from that
kidding.
Nazi. The kid is so much better off. Man, this is fucking...
That kid would be better off on Juggalo Island.
How fucking terrible is this, though? Like, that fucking... Woody Johnson, man. His fucking family. Jesus.
He's got a whole scene over there. The Johnson clan.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Do you know what he's up to now? Co-founder of Johnson & Johnson. He is it says right here, somebody on Wikipedia got right on this, United States ambassador to the United Kingdom, nominee, taking office to be determined. So, who would have thought a billionaire business owner would be part of the government now?
Well, we're never gonna we really need to smooth over those relations with Britain. By the way,
yeah, get the jets.
Things are really
get the jets going
on a
over
rocky point
Mm-hmm.
with the U.S. and Britain. They still got Tony Blair, right? He's been there forever.
He's been out a long time.
Oh,
it was David Cameron until Brexit happened, and now they have to He said he would resign if it happened, and he did.
Oh, okay.
So now there's an interim, Theresa May, but they have to do an election yet next year, I think.
See, that's his problem. That's what's wrong with the British. They say they're gonna do something, and then they do it. I'm gonna resign. That would never happen in the U.S.
Yeah.
You'd say, I'll resign if that happens. And then it happens, and it's yeah, but it didn't happen the way I said it was going to happen.
Why are, rich people the worst? It just doesn't make sense.
You start to turn into those Bret Easton Ellis characters once you get a lot of money.
It's just weird, because
you just start looking at people like numbers.
This fucking, Woody Johnson guy, married this model in 1977, right? And they had all those kids and whatever. And then they divorced in 2001.
I wonder what magazine.
And then in 2009, he got married to another former actress, lady, a young person, I'm sure. And now they're together. I just would like to mention also that Johnson has donated, over tens of millions of dollars to various Republican candidates. So. He's all clued in. Well, you know what, though? Johnson was named the national finance chairman for Governor Jeb Bush's campaign. At the time, he was mocked by Donald Trump for his Bush support. And then he changed his mind to endorse Donald Trump after Jeb Bush got knocked out. Nobody has a backbone.
That's what I'm saying. That's what that British guy was dumb. Cause
it's just insane.
In the U.S., you just fucking you could throw yourself under the bus and still get out of it.
Yeah.
In Britain, he's I'm a man of my word.
You know
I've got to do it.
It's gonna be shit. So he's just I'm getting out. Well,
yeah, that's true. He probably has a better job lined up.
Oh God, so many naked
Hopefully.
Juggalos. So many naked Juggalots.
I'm glad I'm not looking. But yeah,
it's not good. Okay. It's like a train wreck. I'm looking through photos and be oh no, but I can't not
Speaking
stop.
Of train wreck, I saw that trailer for the new Amy Schumer movie.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look good. It looks. How about this?
I've never seen a worse looking on-screen duo than old fucking weird looking Goldie Hawn and fucking drunken already if she even had a prime I don't know, Amy Schumer is it's not working on the screen, not on silver screen.
Okay.
TV, okay. But I could not watch.
Did you see Trainwreck? The movie Trainwreck?
I actually liked that.
That movie was
fun.
She
was funny in that.
Yeah, it was. That was the.
You know what it is? It's a Goldie Hawn that's ruining it.
Yeah.
If she, it's not that Amy Schumer looks bad. She doesn't look great.
We're gonna do the 12 Angry Men, what was it? 12 Angry Men Inside Amy Schumer episode that she did.
She needs to be. Debate. She should have been paired with anybody else. Catherine Zeta-Jones. They should have got her instead.
Someone else.
An older but still good to look. Goldie Hawn, I don't even want. It's like looking at the sun to look at Goldie Hawn.
That's something that happens with when people get a lot of that plastic surgery, and then when you get to age, 50, 60, or 60 or so, it really starts to catch up because parts of you look new and parts of you don't look new, and then all of you.
And if somebody says when they do press for this movie, "Oh, you still look great," you are lying.
They're just trying to get a good word.
At least Amy Schumer's a comedian.
Yeah,
she has other use. Yeah. Goldie Hawn hasn't been in a movie in 15 years.
It is weird to come out of movie retirement to be in this.
Amazing wit that got.
I'm trying to think of someone else who would work as Amy Schumer's mom that's older. Goldie
okay.
Hawn's got blonde hair, I guess. So there's the one thing.
That's true.
But I mean, I don't know, Meg Ryan.
No, she has no fucking personality.
She also looks awful as well.
She does look
She had
bad.
all that facial surgery.
Not as bad as Goldie Hawn, though. You'll be hard pressed to find a woman that we could come up with in this category that looks worse than her.
Goldie Hawn is my favorite Steven Tyler impersonator. But like
Kurt Russell, you got to get out of there, man.
he's old too. He is a silver fox, though. Look at that man.
He just fucking gets better with age, though.
That's true.
He's fucking grows a beard. He grows a mustache. He shaves it all off. He's fucking badass the whole time.
He can.
She's over there withering.
Withering on the vine.
He's like, I'm
Goldie.
fucking.
I don't want to make fun of Goldie
I am
Hawn.
McCready. Okay, McCready deserves better.
Oh man, I don't know.
He was in Antarctica and fought the Thing. Okay.
What about who's the chick that played Ally McBeal? She's old, right?
The only one worse
Close to
than
Flockhart.
maybe like Julia Roberts could be worse.
Well,
She looks terrible. Her
Lance, you're just dunking on all the Hollywood
jaw
ladies.
is 85% of her face.
You're just gonna.
It's like bony witch jaw.
Yeah.
If they ever make a fucking Wizard of Oz and one that, she could do like the witch thing, but otherwise, not into it. I never understood the appeal anyway.
Oh man.
But there are good ones, like obviously like
Couldn't they get like a Bette Midler?
Susan Sarandon.
Oh, Susan, dude,
That would have been great. She's really funny, and she.
I'm just
for her
saying. I
age-
started watching the show Feud with Betty and Joe on the FX show or whatever, and like you look at Jessica Lange and you look at Susan Sarandon, like Susan Sarandon is still kind of got it. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
and she is 3 years older than Jessica Lange. What fuck?
No way.
Yes,
dude.
Yes, she's 70. Jessica Lange is 67. Whatever fucking genes Susan Sarandon has, they need to be preserved and given to every child when they're born to get the longevity that she's had. Because she is still gorgeous, as is Jessica Lange. But, she definitely looks 67. Whereas if you told me she was 70, I'd be like, no fucking way. Like you just did. I'd be like, no, she's like 60, right?
She's
Like she's like just past 50. No.
You know who would have been the perfect mom?
Yeah.
Joan Rivers. Obviously, she's dead. That
Yeah,
would have
there's
been
the humor there,
fucking
too.
amazing.
Yeah. Oh, Joan Rivers is so funny, too.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
Her
her
stand-up.
fucking, not even just a stand-up, her jokes like on Twitter before she died.
Yeah.
Do you read some of
Oh,
those?
yeah, she's great.
She said, and I'm paraphrasing, it's one of the most brutal jokes.
Yeah.
This is so... people thought that, like, just because she was on the E! Channel that she lost it or whatever.
No.
She posted...
She wanted money is what she
posted
did.
this. She said, I hate Houston. It's always sweaty. There's bugs crawling all around it. It's just unpleasant. And it's something else, right? It's humid, right? Yeah. And then she said, "Oh wait, no, that's Whitney Houston." I was like, "What the fuck?" Fucking deepest burn.
Oh my god,
dude! I know. Like I couldn't even.
That's harsh.
It's hard to repeat.
Yeah,
you almost can't repeat it.
Yeah, that's a.
And she was
cold.
like, that was how many years ago? That not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
She was as hard as any comedian ever.
Mm-hmm.
You make that joke, you're as hard as anybody. So yeah, she would have been my choice for on screen.
You're right. Goldie Hawn doesn't make as much sense. I think it would have been awesome to have like an older female stand-up comedian.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's like just kind of raunchy too.
Or even like Lily Tomlin.
Dude, Lily
just
Tomlin.
To see the sparks fly.
Love Lily
Just to
Tomlin.
fucking have all the stories of her being nuts.
Jane Fonda would have made sense maybe, but I don't think she's as funny.
No,
she's the right age.
Deceased.
Though. She's not dead.
Wait, is she?
Peter Fonda.
But she no.
Jane Fonda's been in stuff recent. Oh, did she just die?
Isn't she the one who had the breast cancer?
No, don't say this about.
No, I'm thinking of Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah,
all right.
Jane Fonda is 79. Wow,
no,
she's old.
Yeah, she ain't moving around.
She's doing a show. No, she's still doing a TV show with Lily Tomlin on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still doing it. At age 80, fucking A.
Well, the point is,
yeah,
Goldie Hawn looks awful, and she's not funny, and she's being paired, and she hasn't been in a movie in fucking 15 years. It's just odd to me. I watch a trailer. I'm just watching. There's that trailer. What's the other one? There's one where there's like all these black women. And they're gonna go to fucking New Orleans.
Girls' Night.
Yeah.
Yes, with Queen Latifah and a bunch of other. And I was just like, man, this is like. Remember how what was it called?
Like,
no, what's it called? What are those? Hangover, but with the ladies. the African American ladies. Let's get that demographic. And it's like, it was just the jokes and that were all like, I mean, like, you could tell they were like, okay, Bridesmaids happened, so we can be raunchy, and like, you're just like, okay.
There is a scene in the trailer where they're taking a zip line across the.
Yes. Oh.
That how can you think about anything else?
Yeah.
So she gets stuck halfway.
She's like, I gotta pee. She's like, just take the zip line. There's a bathroom in the other bar. It takes like 10 seconds. You're next in line. It took an hour to get up here. She's like, fine. She goes. She gets caught in the middle. And Lance, what happens?
She's over a street, by the way, like Mardi Gras. She pees.
She just fucking goes all Donald Trump prostitute.
All over those people.
Golden shower. Everywhere. I just want to say.
That movie has to be
whoever has that video, you need to leak that.
Of what?
The Donald Trump prostitute thing.
Wait, I'm out of the loop on that.
You haven't heard the Steele document that came out a while back, like a couple months ago?
No.
Oh, because supposedly the Russians had compromising videotape of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And so he had stayed at some hotel, the presidential suite hotel in like Moscow, and he hired prostitutes to pee on each other on the bed.
I could see that.
To mock Barack Obama, who had stayed in the same hotel room like a week earlier or something. Because that seems like something a petty rich guy would do. But supposedly there's video of it, according to this document, that the KGB took because they fucking bug everything,
right.
Obviously. And so they're saying that like that. And the other parts of the document have been corroborated. That was the most insane shit in it, though. So supposedly that video exists somewhere. I'm sure, obviously the KGB has it. It's not going to fucking get out because they fucking murder people left and right. Have you seen this shit? Like all these fucking Russian diplomats like getting fucking killed. There's a guy fell out of a building in New York like a month ago. And there's like, no funny stuff here. Like, what is happening?
Natural causes.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what is happening? Like, natural causes. Like 12 Russian diplomats have died.
They
recently.
don't even like do the old thing where they get the umbrella and stab you with the lead thing in the calf. Now they just like they grab you. They're like five guys. They throw you off a rooftop.
Yeah, they just throw you off a roof. And you're like, he killed himself. He jumped.
And somebody's like, but he did. No, you don't want to start.
No, exactly.
Don't tell me he didn't fall off.
Yeah. Man.
But yeah.
No,
that
trailer for both of those movies looked really bad.
Horrific.
I remember seeing that Amy Schumer trailer and I was like, oh sweet. Fucking I liked Trainwreck. Let's see what this is.
I still like that movie.
And then it's like, we're gonna make not a movie that's real. Let's make a weird movie where they're like
a fantasy, like
or like remember
through.
Jamie Lee Curtis from True Lies? Remember when she was like at the end when she like tried to hold that gun and like shot everybody and it was hilarious? The whole movie is that scene where they're like both incompetent but somehow they're escaping these kidnappers and it's hilarious but not really because it looks really bad.
This movie's gonna flop.
Yeah, I mean
both of them probably.
I liked Trainwreck. I didn't like all of Trainwreck. My favorite parts were LeBron James.
Colin Quinn was fucking great.
Colin Quinn was great as her dad.
LeBron was really funny.
She's good at it too. It's just like I think.
You think I'm gonna go? LeBron had a greatest line in that. He's like, "You think I'm gonna waste $30 and have to go back to Sunglasses Hut? I don't think so."
I like the
Sunglasses Hut.
Or he's talking. Hey, to the doctor is like, "Hey, did you watch that episode of Downton Abbey yet? I've been waiting." And he's like, no. We'll watch it on like Wednesday. I got a game Sunday. I can't go in that locker room. It's gonna be spoilers. It's just like really funny, like the Cavs.
Dude, they gotta bring LeBron back.
He was actually like legitimately funnier.
Oh, you mean it was better than Michael Jordan's SNL appearance?
Yes. Oh.
You remember what the best skit off that was, and it was awful.
What?
The one where he's on a basketball team, and it's all like white guys because it's the 50s, and Phil Hartman calls him Blackie like 15 times. And Jordan says like nothing, and he's like, "Okay, coach." And it's like the end of the
Phil Hartman just being a fucking treasure.
I mean, it wasn't even a good skit. I'm telling you, it was dumb.
Phil Hartman carried it. Is what
you could tell he rejected like every skit idea they gave him.
Yeah. Because
you only end up with shit that bad if
you're
like, no, bad for my image, no. And then you get like LeBron's actually a funny guy, but
Yeah.
nobody wants to give him, I don't know why he's such a villain to people.
Yeah.
You know, he's like hardly even top 10 at scoring this year.
What?
LeBron. He's like number 9.
Yeah, well, he's
But he's on a good team, so.
Well, yeah, I think
That's what happens when you're on the best.
Well, it's kind of interesting because LeBron's kind of like, he kind of takes the season off a little bit, because he knows he's got his MVPs. He doesn't need to go for any more MVPs.
They're not going to give him one even if he does go for it at this point.
All he cares about is getting the title, and so he always rests like a lot of the season, and then the playoffs they just turn it up. I don't know if it's going to help this year with the Spurs. Sorry, we'll go on.
I know. But going back, I just wanted to mention
we should probably take a break pretty soon.
Okay.
So,
but going back to like movie trailers,
yeah. Any other ones before we take a break?
I saw, and this could be out already. I saw, I don't watch these things on
Kong Skull Island.
I watch them when I'm at the theater. I don't actually know about these movies.
Okay.
There is a movie where Liam Neeson is a tree coming out.
Oh. Yes, I saw the trailer for this.
Boy's friend is like a coming of age movie where this guy is friends with Liam Neeson as a tree. And he's
That's
like,
the tagline.
"You'll be my friend," and he's like, "I'll watch over you, little one."
You should be brave. I'm Liam Neeson. Yeah, you're right.
And I just wanted to even the scale. We have to go after everybody. I can't just bash on all the female comedians. I feel bad about that.
Well, Liam Neeson needs to get a paycheck too, so he's going to be a dumb tree
I like
man.
how he's like, obviously he was a great actor.
He is a great actor. Was. What? He
is a fucking hack.
You could put him in
He's
something
such a
now,
hack.
and he would be incredibly good if it was like good material.
I guess if you get, yes, he's turned into Robert De Niro though.
Yeah, he'll just do whatever because he just wants.
And De Niro's the same thing. If you actually gave him a good script,
come on, The Intern.
He'd be
classic.
Great. Well, there's like 8 minutes of Silver Lining Playbook.
Can I talk to you about? Yeah, he got a fucking Academy Award nomination for that. For fuck's sake.
He was great.
He's great in it, though. He is great.
But it was the first time he had good material in fucking 20 years.
God, he's so good in that, though. It's like, just want to sit here. Come on, I got your seat for you. Like, we got to win the game. It's like, he's like, oh, man, it's so good. Anyway, no, I was going to talk about, fuck. Oh, you got me on a Robert De Niro train.
Sorry. We were talking about Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson being in stuff. I don't know.
I mean, okay. If you take Schindler's List off the table... What
his best movie
does he fucking have?
Taken.
Like
Qui-Gon
you
Jinn.
go straight to Phantom Menace. You're like, well, he's a Phantom Menace guy, and then you're like, well, he was Ra's al Ghul, and it's like, he's really not in anything good, is he?
I'm trying to think here.
Like Walk Amongst the Tombstones. He's in all these like cop movies, where
he's really funny.
He's
Life
good
is
in
Short.
The
TV
Gray
show.
he was good in.
Okay, I haven't
he
seen The
fights
Gray.
wolves with his bare hands in The Gray.
Nice.
I like that.
All right.
But
fuck,
like,
I can't remember what I was talking about. God damn.
He's almost like Bruce Willis, where Bruce Willis has like 2 good movies, and just kind of played the game and did it well. And you end up watching a bunch of shitty Bruce Willis movies. At the end of the day, you're like, I really didn't enjoy a lot of those, but I went along with it. He was enjoyable, I guess.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's got... I think it's because he's, like, fucking Welsh. He gets off, like, anybody from...
I think he's
with that
like
accent.
Scottish or Irish or something.
I thought he's Welsh, but...
I'm looking this up. Liam Neeson.
He's good in Seraphim Falls, but, of course, that's just a movie where him and Pierce Brosnan try to kill each other for the whole time, so I was going to be entertained one way or the other.
He was born in somewhere... Ballymena. That doesn't help.
Oh, boy.
That sounds possibly Irish or Scottish. Northern Ireland.
Oh, I'm off.
So technically...
I must have been thinking of...
Wait. What did you say he was?
Welsh.
Oh, yeah, Welsh. He's not Welsh. If you would have said, like, English, he would have technically... No. If you would have said British, he would have counted.
Does that count?
Because Northern Ireland is part of the UK. Oh,
part of United Kingdom.
No, Britain is the island.
Right.
England is the country in the island.
But if you're in Ireland, you're still in Ireland.
Northern Ireland's weird. So because you're on
Why?
the island, on Ireland, the island.
Are you telling me you don't support the cause, mate? Is that what it is? Is it what it's come down to?
You know what actor I think is super overrated in everything he's in? Who's that fucking guy?
Casey Affleck?
No, who's that guy who's in? Oh, he was Academy Award winner, Casey Affleck.
Yeah, a nobody.
Academy Award winning alleged lady groper.
Oh, did he grow up somebody?
Yeah, supposedly. It's all kind of.
He acts like the same creepy weirdo in every movie. Anyway.
Well, he can't be handsome like his brother, so he's got to be creepy weirdo. Oh shit! Now I lost my train of thought again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck with you.
You're
talking about actors who are horrible. That most overrated actor.
Oh yes.
We can get back to
Yes, I'm there. The guy who's in every fucking Christopher Nolan movie, that Irish actor.
Oh, Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, well, however the fuck you say his name. Yeah. He's not great.
No.
He's kind of bland and he's not good. There's so many better actors.
He kind of is one of these, like, I put him
He's like moody, and they're like, oh, he's moody. Like, yeah, well, Johnny Depp was moody, but also, like, good. So that's why it worked.
In there with Josh Hartnett. There are these actors
they got
who
this
fucking,
look.
like, have the look, and they, like, are soft-spoken.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And they also wear these fucking long sleeve shirts where they were too long and they're like touching the. You watch these two. They wear these like hipster fucking long sleeve shirts, both of them.
Hey fella, I need this shirt to be a bit longer if I'm going to be in this film.
I like
okay.
I mean, he was like kind of funny in his cameo appearances as Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. His idea of portraying the Scarecrow, like one of the most ridiculous theatrical villains, was to like be soft spoken.
Yeah.
Ooh,
he's like a nightmare
He's only
guy.
soft spoken in every movie he's ever done.
Yeah,
that's why he is overrated, isn't it?
He's got one speed.
The Scarecrow is not like that. He's a maniacal, fucking insane person who like. He goes through all these emotions.
He fucking shoots sleeping gas and gives people nightmares. Like, he's not like...
He's like the most unhinged. He's like more unhinged than anybody in those Batman things, right?
Yeah.
He just like, he didn't have any fun with it. He was just like... I don't know. I
haven't seen that movie,
think you gotta be pretty over the
about,
top to play the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
What you didn't see, he's in all three of them, though. He shows up.
Okay, sure. I don't remember.
So
I remember Bane.
And the other ones.
I remember Joker.
Now, Bane was great.
Bane is great.
Everything he says is fucking great in that movie.
We'll give it back to you. That fucking accent Tom Hardy did is so good. Because it's so weird. Oh, fucking A. That movie is not perfect, but...
It's so watchable, though.
Bane is so watchable as a villain, because he's just so over the top. Oh, my God, and the Gotham Knights...
Dude,
football team.
What is under a football field?
I don't know. Fucking concrete?
He blew up like the Earth's crust.
The corpse
what
of
happened?
millions of birds. If you're the fucking Minnesota stadium, apparently it's a bird massacre.
Oh, I love that movie. That's like the best, like cheesiest fucking but awesome movie.
It probably has
the
one
balance of fucking.
Yeah.
If they'd only cut Joseph Gordon-Levitt out of it completely, it'd be perfect.
That he was in that movie.
He sucks in that movie,
and he's good.
He does
he's just not good in that movie.
Useful the whole time.
Yeah, he's like
should just have been cut out.
Well, like I think they wanted to be like have like there's Batman will go here now. You know what I mean? And it's like, but they're not going to do anymore. So
he spends like his whole part of the movie basically like. Driving kids around on a bus, not getting anywhere. And that's like his whole role in the movie.
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta get him past the bridge. And they're like, we're not letting you pass the bridge.
Why is Morgan Freeman in those movies?
He's cool, though.
I know, but like...
Because he explains where Batman gets his shit from.
It's just like...
Nobody ever did that before. He just was
true.
like, he sat alone in his house, and he had
some
gadgets.
Old man was like, here's your gadgets. And he's like, gadgets.
Morgan Freeman is great.
All right, fair enough.
I like him. He's going to be actually hard to bring in another
Michael Caine, though.
Lucius Fox. Michael Caine was okay as Alfred.
He
was not the best
vibe.
Alfred.
He had a different vibe for Alfred, which was like gentlemanly uncle Alfred, not like actual like father figure. You know, I feel like he was more like...
That's true. Though, I don't think of Alfred as a father. He's like kind of a surrogate father, but he's
raises
not.
him, you know, like he's always telling Batman, like, don't do this, you know, like.
There's that line though, of you're not my dad, and we both understand that.
That's what Batman told him when he was.
But then sometimes that line,
you're not my dad, Alfred.
I know.
I'm going to my bat cave.
You know that happened.
To hang out and jerk off. That's what all high schoolers do.
He fired Alfred and,
like
and had to bring Alfred back, like, with the new rules.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, I love you, but, like...
You gotta get off my back, Alfred.
I'm the man of the bat cave, okay?
I'm man of the cave, Alfred.
You can't actually tell me to do anything.
Don't feed the dogs.
Yeah, no, all right. Good time for a break.
It is a good time.
We're talking about... Those are great movies, though. They'll have a hard time following those up.
Yep. All right, and we're back from our break. Lance and I are here to finish off another episode of Saturday Night Bite.
Welcome back.
We were talking about movies a little bit after we ended, but we both saw a couple movies in the theater pretty recently. Logan was the first one I guess we'll talk about. So you saw that one in the
Should
old...
we start out with the scores?
The scores?
Yeah.
Wait, you want to know what your score for Logan is?
Yeah, do you want to compare and then we'll kind of talk about what you thought of it?
Okay, what's your... Okay, what do you want to... You want to do countdown? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bam, we say our score at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like fun.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Do we have 0.5s or just...
No halves.
All right, I'm ready.
You got to be fucking on or off. Okay, so just so you know, patented Born in the 80s rating scale. 1, terrible. 2, bad. 3, okay. 4, pretty good. 5, great. Pretty easy.
Oh, we're doing 5. Okay.
No 10. What? 10's dumb because there's too much granularity.
All right. I'm ready. I'm ready again.
Right.
I had to reset, but now I'm ready.
Wow. You had to tabulate. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bam. You know, like 1 and... All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. What? 3? I knew you'd hate this movie.
I didn't hate it.
You hate everything.
It's okay, though.
It was great.
I would not
Mr. Contrarian here.
Not watch that again.
Just like everything. It was great.
Maybe I probably need 10 years space to watch that
Why
again.
Why did you hate
I
Logan?
didn't hate it, but wasn't
you're a hater right now.
So awesome that I...
Because it had like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, you had to be the guy who hated it.
Okay.
Why was Wolverine portrayed incorrectly per the comics?
No, and I get into that.
Reasoning.
But I have issues with this movie.
Okay, what are the issues?
Okay, but first I want to say what my favorite thing is.
Okay.
The main villain is my favorite.
Okay.
Fucking Boyd Holbrook as the fucking Reaver with the metal hand was a fucking badass in this movie.
Okay.
He was so enjoyable. He had like a southern accent,
Mm-hmm.
and he just was like a hateful, like you love to hate villain, which I think movies are missing a lot of these days. And that's why I really enjoyed his performance.
You know my favorite villain? Hitler. The world. I love to hate him.
I'm not going to argue that point. John's got me.
I got you.
You
All right.
got me.
All right. Okay, now what
That's
did you hate about
positive.
everything that was great?
I didn't like the idea that Xavier had a seizure and killed all the X-Men.
Okay.
That disturbed me. I thought that was really dark and fucked up. And
This is too dark for Lance now.
But it didn't fit. Like, the X-Men's like... It's like saying, like, Batman had a bad day and fucking snapped Robin's neck.
Well,
like,
that's not true. The idea with Xavier, they even talk about it, is he's getting old and his brain has started to deteriorate and he can't keep it together.
Here's the weird thing to me. I like that idea.
Okay.
But I don't like them hinting that he killed his X-Men.
Okay.
It would have been better if he killed civilians.
I thought that's what happened.
It makes it hard for me.
I didn't buy that as him killing X-Men.
It like ruins his character. It's like all of a sudden Xavier's this guy who had this great idea and it backfired so miserably he almost extinct made extinct the fucking mutants.
I'm telling you this right now. Fucking Logan.
It really
Logan
was such a bummer, though.
We need to say also there's spoilers for Logan in here. So.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
But okay, yeah, that's too late now. But whatever. Regardless, I think that you need to think this, Lance. Logan is a harsh fucking movie where fucking everything awful happens. So fucking buckle up. Professor Xavier killed all the X-Men with his brain powers. It fucking happened. You have to deal with it. You're in denial right
It's
now.
too hard, though.
That's what you're in. Because that's the way this movie rolls.
Like Cyclops and the other people, like the younger people who have and Beast is over there in his lab, and then Xavier has a seizure, and what?
All dead.
Their fucking heads explode?
Except for Wolverine,
Who
because he's made of
recovers.
adamantium and can regenerate, so he's able to survive it.
It's awful.
That's awesome. Wolverine's the ultimate survivor.
Xavier's
He's unkillable.
Like, his character arc was this guy in the first movie who was like, we could make the world a better place. And now look at what we're left with. That's my problem with this movie. It's like, though that's one of the strengths of it, too.
It's so
The
bleak.
one thing I like about it...
It is so dark.
Not even that. The one thing, they actually had the best Wolverine thing ever in it.
Okay.
Which was that even though he saving this girl's life and through multiple heroic acts and just giving it his all over and over and over and sacrificing everything for other people till the end, and even at the end he doesn't think he's a hero. That was amazing the way they did that, because he's dying and he still doesn't think he's a hero, and he doesn't say that. But that was great about the character, because he's like, I'm a murderer. That's what an anti-hero is.
Absolutely fucking the part that I love the most about the movie.
Yes, that's the best part of the movie, other than the villain.
And then they reference the Western, Shane, which is a similar in some ways. But I mean, there's the line from that they have in the thing where he's like, the killing, you never can get past it. And that's the way Wolverine is. He's killed. He can never be good in his
He's done
mind.
great things, but he doesn't
But
believe
you can't get
that
past
he's great.
the fact that he's murdered people. Probably people that were more innocent than they were guilty, at certain points. So, and it's dark. And that movie is dark as shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I talked about this on the episode that hasn't come out yet of the Born in the 80s, but we talked about it a little bit because Matt had also seen it. But the Eric LaSalle, my man from ER.
I thought that was him. I didn't know if it was him. I was like, is that guy from ER?
I fucking love him. And
That's
he was
cool.
great in this movie.
He was great.
He's not in a lot of it. As I was like...
Not a featured actor.
As soon as... Well, he was one of like the 10 people who had names in the credits at the start. So, but like... Because there's not a lot of people in this movie. It's a pretty small cast for the majority of the picture, and then of course there's like fucking people in the background, but the main characters that talk. I like Stephen Merchant as the...
Oh, he's great.
He was
Caliban.
great.
By the way, if you want to compare his Caliban with X-Men Apocalypse's,
I have not seen that, but it's on HBO Go and I want to watch it.
it's totally different.
I've heard it's not great, but
and
I've already watched two of them. So
was our scale 1 to 5?
yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse is a 1. Stinks. Anyway, back to Logan. The only reason I watched that was because I liked Logan, and I was like, you know what? I should just watch the last X-Men movie.
I got a question for you. What would you call Batman vs Superman on the 5-star scale?
I mean, 4.
Okay, so your invalid opinions, because Batman vs Superman is not.
But
better
then you
than
start
Logan.
getting to like how much like I love Batman though.
That is not how.
Like the Batman skews a little bit for me.
I don't want to say this. I want to say this though before.
And Ben Affleck was the best Batman.
That is totally a thing. That is not something that you can do with ratings. You can't say, "Oh, you said this was a 3, this was a 4."
That's true.
It doesn't work. It's down to the specific situation.
You can't
of the reviewer.
compare movies based on scores.
Correct.
You're right.
Because this movie for you didn't work as a Wolverine and X-Men movie because it was too dark, whereas the Batman movie worked better because it was more.
Parts were great, but when you get into the
I loved it though.
The fact that I can't like go. The other thing that was bad about it for me was that the children who are the future, who are all the new mutants, are brought. They're saved, and how are they saved? They are kind of like brought. They're given their freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been tortured, whatever, by these assholes who weapon X people or whatever.
Yeah, they're making children. They're just getting orphans.
Weaponizing mutants. Type of. And what do? They cold-heartedly all murder somebody.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
And that's the end. It's like, oh yeah, they're gonna have a great time. I'm like, those kids are fucked. I'm like, those are bad kids.
What?
Dude, they're
They're
murderers.
being chased down by people that murdered their friends because in the
That's
clinic.
why it was too dark.
They're going around and murdering all the. Okay, you're saying this is too dark, and Batman vs Superman wasn't too dark.
But it's not. It's like I'm supposed to be happy that they're out there and they're free from the government. But now I think they're all too fucking messed up in the head.
Too much PTSD.
Dude, they are all sadistically shocking and torturing the villain at the end of the movie.
That scene was a bit gratuitous.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm like they X-23.
But maybe that's the idea, though, Lance.
X-23.
I think that's
X-23 can have the blood on her hands because she's part of Wolverine. I get that. The others were the next X-Men.
I think that's part of it, though, Lance. When you think about it, that's what the movie's trying to say: is that this killing and violence just begets more killing, and they turn these kids into people that could do that shit to someone, and they're already fucked up because the fucking world is terrible.
So they're bad then?
Yep, I guess.
Oh my god, that's even.
It's even darker.
Yeah, I may give you a little point there, then, because that's real. That's fucking pitch black, dark.
These kids aren't irredeemable. No, their kids can always be redeemed. They're young.
They all okay. Cyclops and the gang would never do that. Ever. Oh. They would run into Magneto 18 times and never do that. These kids are fucked.
You're stuck with your Saturday morning cartoon X-Men.
I am a little bit.
X-Men's different now. It's dark. I get what you mean. Okay, another positive. I really liked the girl that played his daughter. She is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She was fucking terrifying. And I love that she didn't speak English very well, which I thought was, she's fucking Mexican, grew up in Mexico. She doesn't know English very well. Which I thought was really funny that there was that language barrier as well, kind of when she first started talking.
She's very good for a young lady that age.
Or whatever. She has a real good Wolverine look of the just fury, which I thought was that's probably why they cast her, because she looks real angry. Okay, weak point for me.
Okay.
The fact that I like the idea of the plot that they're going to grow, rather than children, into super soldiers. They're going to just clone full-sized mutants. And then one of the main, not villains, but one of the henchmen, bad guys, is just a younger version of Wolverine that's been brainwashed just to kill, basically. Which is kind of creepy and crazy, but also kind of felt they could have done something more interesting, I think, than that.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. I like the idea of it. Okay, he's got to fight a younger version of himself who's fucking hopped up on steroids. Also, it isn't interesting enough, because they could have played with you have to fight your past, because that was the Wolverine who would go do all the killing. That now he's fucking now old and man, that sucks that I did all that back then, and then but they didn't really play into that much, because he never really talks to him, or the other guy doesn't talk,
Oh, because he has no soul.
I know, but I mean,
they
I understand
programmed him with no soul.
I
John.
like that as an idea, but in execution in a film, it would have been much better if the villain would have been
a character,
or it would have been some Professor Xavier or Magneto.
I felt they wanted him to make be so scary, and I just didn't think he was scary ever. I got that he was younger.
Well, it would have been better if it would have been another X-Men that he liked, that he would have to fucking fight, that was trying to kill him.
That's a good idea there.
Rather than just himself, because Wolverine would fucking kill himself.
We already saw him fight Lady Deathstrike in X2, which was basically him taking on a female version of himself. Yeah. I mean, we know what it is to see Wolverine-type characters cut each other with their claws. Sabretooth was in that one movie, a couple of them. It's another character with claws that fights Wolverine with claws. How many characters do we need to come up with fucking claws?
Yeah.
It's when you get in a Green Arrow and everyone's got a fucking bow. It's
all bow fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you go. There are way too many people with bows all of a sudden. There's too many people with claws.
That was probably the weakest point for me, though, was that was.
It was like a big reveal, and then I saw it, and I was like,
I was like, oh, that's shocking, but well, okay. The moment that it's revealed is fucking horrifying.
That was actually
and
good.
Shocking.
I was shocked.
And oh my god! And then like after that, you're just like,
Didn't
oh,
really
it's
work
a little,
long term though.
Oh, but my god, that moment.
That was amazing.
That is one. Of
I didn't know what was happening.
I know. We can spoil it. We can spoil it because we already said there's spoilers. So this is a big spoiler. But when like Professor Xavier's talking about how like this is the best fucking night he's had in so many years, and you see the Wolverine like guy standing over there, you're like, oh, this is nice, and then you just fucking through the gut with the claws, and you're like, what? And you're like, oh no, and then fucking everyone else gets murdered. He kills the entire family.
When Xavier even says he like remembers what happened too.
Yeah.
So then he has that double whammy where he gets to like go off into the pasture knowing that he killed his X-Men.
Oh my god, it's awful. The movie's so dark, but I love it. And it's so fucking just brutal.
It's cleverly made, and I am giving a positive score. It's just that like
you think it could have been better.
It comes down to replayability to me.
Oh, I want to see it again right now.
I need a lot of time.
Oh, it's so
I liked it, but there are other X-Men movies I would watch.
I think there's a trope in this movie that I love, and that is the like aged, like not superhero, but like protagonist hero who's like barely able to like stand.
Yeah, that was
who
great.
Like fucking still has to fucking do it to because he has to.
I'm gonna compare this.
That's
movie...
like fucking Solid Snake in the fourth. No, but it's like in the fourth Metal Gear Solid. One of the coolest parts is that Snake is basically an old man who's falling apart because it's like the disease inside him has like made him age so quickly, but he's still got to be fucking Snake. He's got to save the world, but he fucking gets a backache and he like is like dying basically as he's just clawing to the finish because he's such a badass. And it works for Wolverine because he's such a badass to just pop a fucking couple pills and be like, all right, let's fucking go kill someone because I have got to because I'm all that's left in this world. That's fucking awesome.
I love the opening. And the idea of him being a limo driver is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I love those like segments where he's
the
just
jokes with the chicks and his passengers and then he's just getting like drunk and sleeping in the limo. Oh my god, it was so funny.
I love the opening too with the guys like robbing, taking the tires off.
Oh, it's amazing.
And they like shoot him, and then it hits the car. He's like, "Not the car," because it's a fucking lease or whatever, And he's just like, "Shit." Oh,
yeah. No, it's great. Like, I just
I think 3 is harsh, but whatever. It's your choice.
It would be a 7 out of 10, but I can't say that.
No.
It never happened.
That's true. 7 out of 10 becomes a 3, though, because that's
just
good.
If I had to make it, I had to make the hard choice. Okay.
Wolverine or Logan was full of hard choices, and the hard choice was lame. All right, fair enough.
The next one
was
Get Out.
Jordan Peele's directorial debut, Get Out. All right, you ready to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Okay, yes.
Right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. Thank you. All right. God damn.
No question.
That was just good.
This is one of the best theatrical experiences I ever had.
It's a good movie.
It was so killer.
Jordan Peele, and then so he has made history as a black director. He's the first. Well, not the first, but he's joined.
Probably Spike Lee.
No, he's the first black director to write and direct a movie that grossed over $100 million.
We had to make that up, so then we got Spike Lee out of there, by the way.
Yeah, whatever.
Because Inside Man, he didn't write. See?
Okay, fair enough.
That was his one big hit.
That was a good movie, though.
I liked it.
It was well written, actually. The plot
His
was
other
really
movies
interesting.
are more like cult movies, so that's
true,
why they...
True. But, he didn't ruin it. So, he's a competent director, Spike Lee, so...
Oh,
actually, he made it better because the Spike Lee shot in that movie is pretty good.
It actually kind of worked.
Yeah. So okay, he did a good job.
Most of his other movies are like too hard R to actually have made $100 million though.
Yeah,
that's why. And that's saying that he's hit and miss.
Yeah.
But his good movies are too extreme to basically be 100 million.
I like. Okay, Jordan Peele, obviously, of the duo Key and Peele. The darker one.
Yeah.
Because I think Keegan-Michael
Oh,
Key...
give Key a chance. He's going to be in the new Predator movie.
That's true. But he's more of like a... I think he's more of a comedian, like guy. And he's an amazing and really fun guy. But I think Jordan Peele clearly is like, he's got some chops ideas here. Because on top of being a very well-written movie, it's not only a really interesting horror idea, but also a really legitimately funny movie and a well-directed movie. It looked good.
I'm going to tell you something. There's a character in this movie that if he doesn't get nominated for Academy Award, they could just fucking forget the whole thing.
Yeah.
The brother character of the family. The fucking creepiest character I ever saw in a movie.
He is. Yes. So, okay. So this will be Get Out spoilers because we don't want to. We'll talk all about the whole thing. So go see it. You know, if you not, keep fast forwarding until you hear a little bit of a spoiler and then get pissed that you didn't fast forward far enough. But you know, I'm not going to tell you how far forward to fast forward. But yeah. So his brother is. Or Allison Williams, who's the main character.
Oh, I didn't know that was her.
Yes, from Girls.
Now I know. Okay.
She's awesome as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't put that together though. That was her. Just like some chick.
She's her brother or twin brother, I think it is, because they kind of show pictures of them when they're little kids. Is just fucking weird. And the scene when it's going on before it becomes the horror movie, when he's just talking to him. And it's just creepy. And he's like, with your physique and your genetics, you could be a real, like
a beast.
You could be a beast. And you're just like, what is this guy talking
His
about?
hair is like really weird.
Yeah, he's got this fucking weird look too.
He can't
when he's
like
walking.
sit normally in a chair.
Yeah,
and he like jumps around. And the other characters are kind of like, let's change the subject. And he's like, no, wait. Let's go back into my subject.
Yeah, I know. And he's just like, oh my god.
He's so creepy. Unsettling.
He was creepy.
I've never seen a creepier character.
Daniel Kaluuya was the main star.
He's terrific.
He's amazing. He was in Black Mirror episode that was really good. He was in Sicario. I'd forgotten that was him.
Which character?
In Sicario?
Yeah.
He's Emily Blunt's friend, her like coworker.
I saw it in the theater, but
and he shows up at the end.
Oh, okay.
He's the black guy. I mean, like, you know, there aren't a lot in that movie, so he's that one. But he's the friend.
He got a chance to like kind of like be the star in this one.
Yeah. He was more of a side character in that. I mean, he's good in that, obviously, but he doesn't have a lot of lines.
He was terrific in that Get Out.
Oh my god,
very good job.
Just
what about fucking Brad Whitford?
Everyone is good in this. The wife, I forget her name, but she's been in a lot of stuff too. She is so creepy.
Did it make me weird that I kind of like figured out the twist? Not the brain transplant part. That was different.
Yes.
But like the twist of them being like, I thought like I was maybe like, I felt this was what was great about the movie.
Yeah.
When there was probably like 20 minutes before they like lowered the boom. And we're saying that it wasn't actually the twist, but it was close.
Yeah.
Was they were like making these brothers turn into sex slaves. And the whole thing. When I like 20 minutes before they say that, when I realized that was what was happening, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because that one anyway.
This is like some Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of stuff going on here. Like, okay.
But they are sex slaves in a way because they want their bodies.
Yeah. I love that though. And then
that's so killer though, man.
It's just so good. And
it's, you know what, it brings back to horror what it desperately needed, because horror got so conservative. They've been trying to get after these $100 million movies. And this one, ironically, is $100 million, but it's really fucking edgy.
Yeah.
And what horror's been missing is edginess and pushing the boundaries and fucking messing with your head. And Get Out's so amazing because it's offensive. But that's what horror is.
I just love that it
gets
takes,
back to what it should be.
I just love that it takes the thought of the casual racism of like a upper class white family who's like, you know, making jokes about like, oh, hey, you know, like put it here, bro, you know, like just like, you know what I mean? Like just that stuff that's just like, you know, these white people are awkward around a black person. And then taking it to like the highest level possible. You know what I mean though? Like, oh, it's much, much, much deeper than that, actually.
That one part where he like puts his arm around him and he's like, yeah, I would have voted for
Obama third term. Oh my
Best
god.
president we ever had. And the other guy's just like,
Yeah, I guess. So like, you can't imagine that fucking
what do you say, man?
Jordan Peele's heard that like 100 times himself. Okay, one thing I love about this movie is that it is a great horror movie because it fucking starts with that drive up to the house, right? And the drive they hit a fucking deer, and it's an early jump scare that kind of gets the audience like, oh yeah, okay, this is a horror movie. Like, stuff's gonna happen, and it has the fucking deer dying on the side of the road. This is like a classic horror movie, like the weird like, oh, we're heading out to do this thing, and then something kind of grisly happens, but it's not.
A good point.
You know what I mean? And then like he has that fucking interaction with that cop who kind of gives him a hard time, and you're just like, this is creepy, and then like it ends, and you're like, oh, because it unsettles you as an audience early on. And then you get to the house and you're already kind of on edge a little bit. And I think it helps the viewer like kind of just notice more and more kind of the stuff happening. And then,
and I'm not like a person who typically like talks about like the shooting of movies, but I do have to say this.
Yep.
It looks beautiful.
Yep.
The photography is amazing, but also, and maybe it's just because I watched a couple of shitty movies before this.
Yeah.
And the trailers almost give me a fucking seizure looking at them because they just flash and flash. And I was so relieved to see a movie where a filmmaker is actually competent and confident enough to have a shot that actually sits fucking still for a bit of time.
Yeah.
And he did that the whole movie where like all the shots were kind of planned out and they just like, he's like, we're telling a story here.
Yep.
But all these other stupid movies are just like, cut, Guy Ritchie, gun, cut. And it gives me I can't take it.
No, yeah.
It's like when we watched the Resident Evil movie. I thought it was like
too much. Yeah.
It was so hard, and I was like, I don't know. I think I can't. I want to see a return to more like a slower, cutted movies. Mm-hmm. Like I'm so tired of things jumping around all. Yeah. I don't know. It's just
and I want to.
It's a nitpick, but it's something that was great about this movie. It was a current movie.
Yeah.
It'd be very easy for a first-time director to get like cold feet and start cutting around every fucking place.
I would like to preface what I'm about to say.
All right.
With I am a horribly white man in his 30s.
Oh, here's some white.
Lance,
white privilege.
Lance is a horribly white man in his 30s. Now, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I crossed that.
Crossed the threshold into oldness.
Goodbye, youth.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So I just want to preface when I say this because, like, I'm not a black guy, so I can never understand that experience. So, like, take this all with a grain of salt. But when I saw in the movie was really interesting is idea was, and somebody had argued online, it's like, I don't understand why they were just stealing black people and not just young bodies. Because, like, I think the movie even asked that at one point, like, why black people? And they're just like, because they're cool, is what I think the movie was.
It's in fashion.
It's in fashion. I think that's exactly what they said. Okay, here's the deal. What I like about that as an idea, and someone thought it was a plot hole. I was like, no. This is Jordan Peele's thought of. This is always the thing that's said is that white culture co-ops black culture constantly. Like using phrasing that.
I didn't even.
And now
think
this is like old white people co-opting not black culture but black actual bodies themselves. Like more taking it a step further than like using slang terms, or watching, black movies, like taking black culture and making it their own. They're taking black people and making them their own.
And if you were to kind of extrapolate that thought a little bit, you see also the way they act. They aren't trying to act like those black people.
Correct.
So in effect, they could be saying you should act like us.
I mean, yeah. It could be.
I'm just saying, like, if you're like throwing out a lot of ideas.
Sure.
These aren't good characters we're talking about.
No.
But these guys wearing a fucking top hat and he looks like he's gonna go to the Kentucky Derby. It's very odd.
Yeah.
And they want to co-opt it, but at the
same
time
they don't know how to.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's like they end up just being lame, and weird.
Exactly.
And unsettlingly weird. And it's just like, because it's just, oh my God. Everyone's
there's a whole nother level I never even thought of just there.
I liked Allison Williams in that movie.
Oh my God.
Okay, so she's like
Sarah's fucking
the
great.
Doting girlfriend, like perfect, like, oh my god, okay, she's in this with him. It's this fucking horrible fucking thing she didn't know about her family because she's like kind of like not in on this, oh my god. I initially thought maybe they brainwash her with the fucking hypnosis so she forgets this and just keeps bringing back all these people.
I knew when they were going through those photos
and
I was going to find. I knew that chick was going to be in there.
What an awesome horror movie moment, though. When he is, like, getting all that shit together to, like, leave. And he's like, fuck, we got to get out of here. Fuck. And he sees the fucking cabinet open a little bit. And he has to look. He looks, and it's photos of other black guys that she's dated. At just a fucking 10. And then you hear her say hello, and he fucking shuts it, and she's there. And he's like, he knows. But she doesn't know that he knows. It's just that perfect horror movie moment of that. And then it comes.
And even though I guessed that before it happened, I
hadn't guessed it.
I was dying.
I was on her side.
Mainly like the one chick. I knew. I was like, she brought them all in. I knew it. But you know what was great about this movie?
Yeah.
I was waiting to be confirmed of what I thought. I was like, tell me I'm right.
They hold that for a while. And then there's that moment when she kind of flips that switch when they're like, he's trying to escape and she's fumbling for the car keys for like a really long time. And you're like, where are the fucking car keys? What the fuck's happening? And she's like, there's no fucking way I'm giving you these keys. And you're like, no, she's turned.
Right.
And you're like, no. Oh my God.
But did you see that? So you didn't catch on that, like, she had the lesbian relationship with the other house helper?
No.
Okay, I that was one thing where I was like, I know she's fucking all of them. Like I got that like kind of earlier in it, but like I was waiting to be vindicated of that
what
thought.
House? What are you talking about?
The woman in the house, the black woman, who's one of the helpers. She's like a maid or something.
Sure.
She's like the one who's like.
Yes. Who in her?
Well, Allison Williams.
Her grandmother?
No.
That's her grandmother.
No.
Yes.
She's younger. Like, well, I mean.
No, her grandmother's in that body.
Yeah, but she brought the body there.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Yeah, she had the lesbian relationship with the body that she brought that her grandmother.
Yeah.
Over. That's creepy on many levels now that I'm thinking about it. Fuck, man.
What about the part where the guy pulls his braids out? I knew he was going to do it.
Dude.
He, like, realizes what he is.
So fucking, like, original,
just,
this
like,
movie, and so good.
It's still funny, too. There's some funny.
And it's still funny. It's dark and funny. And the end has one of the best moments in the entire fucking movie. I'm going to spoil it. But there's a point where he has escaped most of the way in the car. He fucking, for some reason, picks up that lady because he's just like, his mother got ran over by a car and he felt bad. Maybe there's still some humanity left in this lady. And she fucking turns on him, and then Allison Williams chases it, and she gets fucking like hit and knocked over, and she's like on the ground. Oh, he chokes her. That's what happens for a while, and she's like almost dead. And then you see the fucking cop car lights come in, and you're like, oh no.
And you get that,
Jordan Peele, are you going to end this movie?
I know.
The fucking cop rolling up and shooting the black man.
He's strangling a woman in the road.
Strangling a woman in the road. When it clearly is the only time when this is clearly he's, the good guy. But because he's black, of course. And then, of course, the fucking door opens and you see airport. And it's his fucking friend from the TSA. And I was like, oh my God. It was such a good, like, relief moment of just like, oh. Because I thought they were going there.
I was also very relieved.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be dark. And then it was just like, no. Oh.
And the and I think it's kind of
so happy.
And this shows like kind of his knowledge of horror movies. Yeah. That's very clear, kind of like shout out to Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
The ending of that movie.
Okay.
Where he goes through a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
Ben. He fights with people. He barricades the house.
Yeah.
He fights the zombies. The zombies come in. The day comes.
Yep.
And there's all these rednecks out there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hello? Like if you saved us or whatever?
Yeah.
And they just shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
And so this was like, he clearly knew that was a...
And then everyone was thinking, oh no, this is how
and because it was, what's going on and everything, they're like, oh no, don't do it. And he played, but he knew what everybody's thinking.
Uh-huh.
So he got them to think about it without actually doing it.
Oh, it was good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Jordan Peele, man. What a fucking director.
He's got quite a...
Credit
I can't wait to see the next thing.
Quite a career ahead of him, I think. So, all right, that's it for movies. Lance, you said you had one more topic before we end it?
Yes.
We're at about an hour and a half now. So.
Okay. So, yeah.
Let's wrap her up. Let's wrap it up.
Why, I just
Christmas
wanted
present.
to announce
You've been on Twitter,
officially-
right? Okay, yep, go.
Well, this could tie in both a little bit, but...
Sure.
My retirement from politics.
Okay.
I'm retired.
You're done?
It's over. I was amazed I hung on as long as I did after the last election.
Sure.
Do not come to me expecting... You know what it is? Here's my great stance on here's why I'm bad at talking about politics.
Okay, sure.
Because people I know a couple things.
Sure.
But then when like a real political debate occurs, which I'm not interested in the slightest.
Okay.
But you get roped into these things when
Sure.
you say things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This is the hard lessons that I have to learn every election cycle.
Fair enough.
Now we're on the back end. And
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know a lot about politics.
Okay.
So then I say things, and then people, and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting when they prove me wrong about a bunch of shit.
Uh-huh.
But it's not interesting.
Uh-huh.
I'm still, I'm like, that's why I suck at it. Because they're telling me why I'm wrong, and I'm like, no, I get that. I'm bored.
Just bores you.
I'm bad. I remember like arguing with Ham about something before, and that's a fucking
do not argue with Ham about anything.
But that's a
you will not give up.
Hilarious joke in itself, though.
Oh yeah.
No, I think it took all of like 3 minutes for him to like just puncture every opening I had.
Oh yeah.
And I was
he's a master debater.
I was like, it's over. and
yeah.
I'm done. And speaking of Twitter,
yeah, I think that's a place where politics really does bubble up quite a bit.
What I love, and if you look at who I follow, and
yep.
I'm on there, I follow like exclusively comedians.
Sure,
because I want jokes.
Dude, Twitter is a joke delivery machine because it is just 140 characters, quick joke, makes you laugh. You're happy you read it. Go. Share.
I am following comedians and a couple artists of comics that I like.
Okay.
And so anyway,
Rob Liefeld.
You know what? That's not a bad idea though. He's kind of funny. Not a good artist, but he's funny.
He draws those legs and arms in weird ways.
Speed lines. But some of the people. Okay. Here's what threw me for a loop. The comedians who are going down that Janine Garofalo road, who I think need an intervention. And that's where I'll name a couple that I...
Okay. You're saying they're getting too political?
Yeah. And when you're political and you're not funny, you become Janine Garofalo.
Okay.
When you're political and you're funny, you become
George
either
Carlin?
Al Franken or Bill Maher or something.
Sure.
That's a successful version.
Or like the Daily Show. You know what I mean? Like the
Jon Stewart.
John Oliver. The people that do it for a living.
But when you are political and you're a comedian, but you're not funny,
yeah,
then we got a problem.
Sure.
Okay. First off, Norm Macdonald.
What? Norm Macdonald's a treasure.
He's got two horrible things going on. If you follow him for a week, you'll know exact. You should do that, by the way.
All right, I'll follow him for a week.
You will know. You will find out. Okay, you're gonna get dead silence for like 2 days straight.
Yep.
You're gonna be like, is Norm gonna say anything?
Norm, you there?
Then he is going to go, and this is probably like, he gets, based on the hours, he gets drunk. And he gets like...
That's Norm.
He literally will tweet 28 times in a row in 2 hours.
I fucking hate those. The tweet rants.
It's awful. And none of it's funny.
No.
He's actually never funny. Like... Even when he can't put one tweet out that's a joke ever.
Yeah.
I love Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah.
His Twitter is fucking atrocious.
You're saying Norm Macdonald's bad at Twitter.
And he's like a right leaning guy who acts like he's in the middle, but it's like, come on, Norm. Just pick a fucking side already. If you're gonna be fucking talking about every issue, you might as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're awful. His tweets are fucking terrible. And the only thing worse than what he does on there is that he actually is like reading people's replies and replying to them.
Yeah, that's the worst. Like, never.
I'm like, Norm, what are you wasting your time with this? Just go gamble or do whatever you do with your
Yeah.
So Norm really was a bummer for me. Patton Oswalt going the other way. I thought he was funny.
I like
his Twitter.
I get
is
what you're
fucking
saying.
horrible.
I like
it's
some
the
of
other
it.
way. It's the left way. It's like he's not ever funny. Like, where's the jokes? Where's the commentary about comic books? Where's the stuff that I expect from Patton Oswalt?
I think you're right in a way that when you think about it is when you're saying like there's a difference there between someone who's funny and someone who's funny in a political way,
right?
And then there's people that are funny that just start getting political and become more of like an activist, like doing political things and not being funny and political. Which I could see that with Patton Oswalt. He genuinely
he's not funny
gets very
when
political.
He talks politics.
Yeah, he's
Neither's
very
Norm.
He's very serious when he talks politics. And Lance, when you want your funny people talking politics, you want them to be funny when they're doing it.
Yes, that's what I expect. Like everything they do to have an attempt at humor. It doesn't have to be funny.
Yeah,
but I expect an attempt at humor.
Sure.
Is that off base?
Fair enough. No, that's just what you can do whatever you want on Twitter. If that's what you want out of your Twitter follows, that's what you should expect. And there are people that do that. So, but yeah, I know what you're getting.
If I followed Michael Jordan, I wouldn't expect him to be funny.
No.
I'm following comedians who are fucking horrible on Twitter. And for some reason, like, Patton Oswalt's popular on there. Oh my God, I can't stand it. And then it keeps recommending that I get him back. And I'm like, leave me alone. Because it still shows me some of his tweets and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's still horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe he'll cool off and be better or more appealing to me at some point. The other one.
So what you're saying is fuck the politics either way. You just want to follow people that are funny.
Yes.
And you really hate it when comedians who are funny.
Yes.
Stop being
funny. I would watch either of them.
Being funny.
But they are not funny.
You're saying that's what Jimmy Garofalo did. She stopped being funny and she started just talking politics and not being funny about it.
Yes.
Fair enough.
But she did that on stage.
Yeah.
And she ruined her career. Whereas Patton Oswalt and Norm Macdonald aren't dumb enough to do that, but they're also not entertaining in this way either.
Yeah.
So, see, I'm pretty sure if you go see Patton Oswalt, he doesn't go on huge rants about politics.
Political rants. It's just.
I hope not.
Patton
I could be
funny.
wrong. I hope not though. Norm used to be very clever though on the SNL News and make a lot of funny jokes, which were political. That's why it's even weirder with Norm because Patton Oswalt came from the geek side of things. And he's outspoken. Norm made all these great Clinton jokes back in his day. But I don't know. I don't get why it's like, where's the punchline to any of this?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like ramblings.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to anybody's. It's tough. Anyway, that's.
No, I get what you're saying. You want people to be funny.
And then there's the dark side of Twitter, which
is.
And I'm going to start with the fact I got retweeted by Artie Lang, which I thought was cool.
You did?
Yeah.
It's always fun when you get retweeted by somebody.
Right. I told him I watched this show Crashing, and I thought it was terrific. I watched the first episode.
Have you seen the rest of it?
No. We'll probably watch some later.
It is so good. I love Pete Holmes.
He's great.
As a comedian. Well, Artie Lang's only in the first 2 episodes.
I heard. But
it kind of good. Well, then of T.J. Miller, of course, is next. I think the idea of the plot of that show is that he keeps crashing on different comedians' couches, basically. So it's kind of a little.
I want to just kind of give you a little events here.
Sure.
So I like Artie's Twitter or whatever. He uses mainly to promote gigs and shows and stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Which is fine. Anyway, they got then I also follow Opie radio show.
Okay.
From Opie and Anthony. And Opie's not a political guy. He's the guy who didn't get fired for saying horrible things on Twitter.
Okay. Yes.
He's the one who stayed.
Anthony Cumio had a bit of a meltdown.
But Opie was not part of that. So don't drag them both under for...
I mean, I don't want to, like, side with Anthony on this bit. He obviously got put in a really bad situation where he, like, was getting, like, harassed by someone. But
attacked, actually.
Yes, attacked. But also, hearing the things he said after he got attacked, it was like, okay, but were you acting that way before you got attacked? It was me. It would just be like, I was saying this horrible racist things to this lady, and all of a sudden she started attacking me, and now
I never thought of it.
You know what I mean?
Way.
Though it's just like, okay, buddy, like, you can't, like, it does not look good when you say the things that you said, even if you may have been, you know, attacked without, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah.
And he's a guy, just on that point, who is like well known to be racist. He said it on his own. There's no way around this. He said it on his own show.
It's like the fucking Hulk Hogan thing. I'm a racist, I know. Like,
yeah,
he says that in the video.
They had Patrice O'Neal in there one time, and he's like, I do racial humor. He's like, and Anthony, and he's like, you can say it. And he's like, what do you think I'm going to say? And Anthony's like, I'm a racist. He's like, I am. And it's true, though. I mean, it's like, look, he's like, I'm not going to bullshit.
I miss Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, he's
so funny.
He was
so funny.
A giant of comedy.
Yeah.
One of the best comedians ever.
Speaking of giants of comedy, best comedian ever.
But I just want to talk about... Oh,
Dave
sorry.
Chappelle is coming back to Netflix this summer. He's doing 2 specials.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
I just want to say, though...
Yep.
So from the Artie Lang thing...
Yes.
And Opie, right?
He retweeted you. Why?
Because I said Crashing was awesome.
Oh, okay. It is awesome. He's good in it. He's really good in it.
So I'm following those 2 things.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, Opie's got like 5 tweets to Artie because Artie was on the show, and he's like, "I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. It's not my. I don't know that you're upset. I don't. What can I do?" All to Artie, and I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" So I watched the episode.
Yep.
It was on that Women's Day when they had the
Day Without Women. Yep.
Day Without Women.
The women's strike.
Opie opened up the show with a John Lennon song called "Woman is the Nigger of the World."
Which is interesting because I think that's the point of that
right.
song. Is that women are so, oppressed, just as a whole. But yeah, I know what you mean.
But that's not even like the but that's where we start, right? Yeah. And then after it's Artie and Gilbert Gottfried are in there.
Okay.
And Gilbert Gottfried's one of the most offensive comedians ever. So if those 2 get going.
You know what the funny part about him getting fired from Affleck over the tweets he had about the Japanese tsunami thing that happened?
Not any of the tweets.
No, it was
weren't actually. He's not a very good.
Was that it was like? Oh, I was like, oh, okay. Well, how bad was it? They were bad, and they were right away.
I didn't know that.
It was the same day, and you're like, dude, you can't. You got to back off on that a little bit. You can't be like, oh, look at those people who got burnt by that volcano. Bunch of toasts. And you're like, what? No, you can't make a joke right now. It's like 2 years from now. Maybe, but try it out in a club. But on Twitter? In public?
Right.
Oh, my God. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's true. You can do anything in a club.
Yeah, you can say, well, people have cell phones.
Well, except tell people you're going to put forks in them.
I feel so bad from Anthony Richards in that, too.
But,
Anthony, wait. What's his
Michael
name?
Richards.
Michael Richards, thank you. Anthony, what was I thinking?
We're getting Anthony Cumia and
there it is. Michael Richards, I feel bad for him. That situation was really bad, and he acted horribly. But also...
Well, he didn't do it in a funny way, though.
Heckling people on stage is an awful thing to do.
He showed
he was
that
being
he's
heckled,
not
and he was not a good enough comedian to handle it the correct way.
That's the problem.
And it got out. And I'm sure stuff like that happens all the time to comedians on the road and doesn't get recorded and doesn't get out.
But if you can't handle a heckler,
you got to be able to
make hay with a heckler. You're not a real comedian.
You can't use race. You can't use race to make hay with a heckler.
Let's be honest, though. Michael Richards is not a stand-up comedian.
No, he's not. He's a physical comedian actor who's incredible at that. By the way, but yeah,
any other stand-up that's any good can handle a heckler and make the whole thing kill as a bit. It's like a natural reflex. One of my favorite things I've ever seen, it's a Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
He's actually the one in the crowd.
Yeah.
It's a smaller gig in Boston. And the guy on stage is like, I don't know, there's some words exchanged. And the guy on stage, some dudes, he starts going after Patrice, who's in the crowd. You don't know it's him, right? And you can hear Patrice. He's got a huge voice. Yeah. You know how loud you got to be to hear a fucking camera pick you up from 10 tables back.
Yeah.
I was at a club and the guy couldn't hear me from the stage. I was in the front row.
Yeah.
When he asked me, I never speak out of turn.
Fair enough. Yeah. He asked you like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Exactly.
And you're like, "I'm doing this." And he's like,
Patrice
what?
goes, "You better calm down, man." And the guy goes, "I'm not gonna. Don't tell me to calm down. What are you gonna do about it?" Patrice gets up and tackles him off of the fucking stage.
Patrice is a big guy,
right?
Yeah.
His takedown is hysterical. It's like he's ripping a scarecrow off the ground. It's just like he bowls him over.
3-point stance.
Yeah, but anyway, so Artie and Gilbert Gottfried are on Opie, and then so those two make up. Is they're going to add the M word to famous Beatles songs. And they do that for 10 minutes. And then so afterwards, it's like super offensive, but it's funny, but it's not that funny. Didn't need to go on for 10 minutes. Could have been like a couple songs. And then those two, they just keep going like.
Well, you get on a riff, you know? Like,
exactly. And whatever.
And they're both there together. It's like kind of one of those things that would be really funny if you were in like a room not being recorded and being just like, oh, that's a funny concept. It's a little bit too...
Like, some of them would be like, let it be N-word. Like, some of the jokes are...
I understand. And it's just like, kind of like... It's probably not the best thing to do on a radio show.
So anyway, but here's where it gets bad.
Yeah.
They do the show, and Artie apparently told the producer he wanted that part cut from the YouTube.
Okay, so it was broadcast live,
it's on Sirius XM.
But isn't saved. It isn't in the archive version, basically. So you had to have heard it live to have heard it, basically.
Well, what they do is they save it and then they post them all on YouTube.
Correct. He just doesn't want people to be able to clip that clip of YouTube of him saying the N-word.
No, he didn't. The live audience of the day.
Yep.
He was okay at the time, but then he had remorse over like, I want it off because it's bad for my career.
Well, he was like, that was a bad joke. I don't want it.
He's like, I don't want to. Yeah. So he talked to the producers to try to get it cut.
Yeah.
They didn't cut it.
Of course.
Opie had no idea about any of this.
Of course they weren't going to cut it, though. Dude, you said it live on air. They're not going to cut it.
Why would they? It's not
their job.
It's not your fucking show, dude.
Yeah.
You're a guest.
It's their show. They're not going to cut something you said on their show that you agreed to be on.
And here's the leap.
Live.
The leap in logic that was really odd.
Yeah.
So his producers don't do what he says, which why would they? Then he starts putting all these tweets out against Opie, saying Opie fucked him over.
Yep.
Opie lied to him. Opie did this, and Opie's like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Yeah.
They eventually made up, but then at that point, I was like, "Is Artie on drugs again?" He gets busted for heroin and cocaine like 2 days ago in a hotel. We're talking speedballs. We're talking. He's not going to last much longer.
Artie.
When you're doing speedballs, that's like the last thing that fucking, what's his name?
Chris Farley?
Farley, Belushi,
How does Artie Lang last longer than Farley? Blows my mind. Because Farley, big guy, probably not super healthy, but that guy was kind of in shape a little bit. You know, he'd run around on stage. Artie Lang? Oh, no. He could be knocked over by a fucking stiff breeze, you know? Like, that guy's not in shape,
But Artie, yeah, you're right.
It's just weird. You know,
Artie got up to like 300 pounds once.
Yeah.
Like, Chris was typically a bigger guy, but he's more...
But you could, he seemed like he was able to, like, do all the physical stuff.
He had some physical ability.
Yeah.
Inherent. Like,
he played football in, like, high school and shit, like...
And he's also beaten John Candy, too, I think.
Yeah, John Candy was not ever someone
who
looked in shape.
Well, no.
But I don't think John Candy did drugs. He just died of being unhealthy.
He probably did some coke. It's the 80s.
Fair, it was the 80s. You're right.
Can't blame him.
Everybody's doing it.
Doesn't mean he was a whole like pop head or whatever,
No.
but probably had a little.
How did John Candy die? I'm looking this up, but you keep going.
Oh, so anyway, now Artie's putting out all these tweets now, and this is like the dark side of Twitter. He's putting out all these tweets about how well, and on his like, what do you call this, like bridge burning spree that he was doing lately. He's not only did he start talking about Howard Stern, he started just like setting fire to anything that possibly could exist there for him. Not that he would ever be allowed back, but he started talking about like how Howard hired this woman who like is like brainwashing him and turning him against all of his own employees and stuff, and he started allegedly, but I don't know. So basically, like, he's talking out of school about his old job.
Yeah.
And he's not allowed there anymore.
Yeah.
Which was already well known. I understand why. I mean, obviously, like, tried to kill himself, and then they're like, okay, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be responsible for his death.
Yeah.
But now you kind of got a situation where now he's like, I don't know, the last time I checked in with the tweets today, it sounded like he was just like, goodbye world again, and I'm like, oh fuck. And it's just like, yeah, that's the bad thing about social media sometimes. It's just
you get
kind of
plugged in like that, you know.
You can have such a voice to say exactly what you want, and then you say it if it's somebody like that. I mean, I won't say who. I went to who you were following because I was like, hey, if John follows them, they could be cool, right?
Sure.
There was an individual.
Okay.
I'm not going to say who.
Oh, you gotta tell me off air now. Go.
Who was like, I read like all of it though, the whole page. It was like a fucking like 3-year-long suicide note. It was fucking bizarre.
Wait, what? Who is this?
I'll show you like later.
Okay.
But it was just like it literally starts with like he makes his Twitter after a breakup, and the rest, like the next 3 years, are just like. No one's ever gonna love me again.
Fucking saddest part about this is someone I follow and I have no clue who the fuck you're talking about. So like nobody does care. You know, I don't care and I follow him.
There was literally like it's like parts where there's like half written poetry where it's just like talking about like being a shell, wanting to be like fucking like blown away by the wind or something. Like it's so. But I got into it, I started reading, like, I was like, oh, there's only, like, 48 tweets. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, is he going to make it? I wanted to, like, okay, here's the really shitty thing.
Sure.
This is probably a good note a good dark note to end our Logan fucking...
Darkness podcast. Sure.
I wanted to, like... tweet the guy and give him some, like, you know, look.
There is no point. Kill yourself. No, don't do that. That's like, a terrible thing.
No. I wanted to be like, look, man, maybe you can focus on some like more positive things and don't like kind of pull yourself up a little bit. You know, don't be so hard on yourself type of thing. But then I was like, if I do that, he might like want to start talking to me. And I was like.
No.
Then I if I ditch him, you know what I mean. So I don't know. I need to make like a fake Twitter and then.
You know what I think? I just want to say as a kind of a wrap up for this episode.
Yeah. Is
that one thing that I actually talked to Lauren that was like, I said this. The thing I was like, one of the things that really bothers me. Is that and we talked about this on the previous episode of Born in the 80s. It'll be out. But, like, you know, some of the stuff that Jontron had said.
Oh, yeah.
About, like.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Very weird white supremacy kind of things that he's saying that I think, honestly, he doesn't really understand what he's saying.
That he. Just to talk. I don't mean to.
Fair enough. Go.
He harkened all the way back to colonialism.
It's really weird. It's like
I haven't heard that argument in a while.
Where are you getting this from? And he even said after he did that, he's like, wow, that didn't sound as good as I thought it was going to, and maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, like, yeah, here's the thing. Is that I was like, whenever I think about stuff like that, I always, like, think of WWCD. What would the Clash do?
Okay.
Like, if it's not fucking punk rock, it's not cool. Like, if you're someone who's like a like personality or whatever, don't do fucking shit that's uncool. And shit that's uncool is shit like, JonTron fucking parroting back all these right-wing talking points in his fucking video. Or what's not cool is someone, going out and taking photos of themselves at some fucking protest, acting like they actually care. You know what I mean? And just doing it to be popular, And it's like, that's not cool. What would the Clash do? The Clash would say, fuck everything, put some middle fingers up and fucking rock and roll. That's punk. Be punk is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Don't be fucking lame.
Don't be a phony.
Don't be Don't be the man.
Yeah.
That's the man. The president's the man. Don't be the man. Be a badass. Even if you agree with some of the stuff he says, don't follow like sheep. Be a man.
That's what. And
be a punk.
Be
metal.
Told you this would never.
I hate it when
happen.
metal fucking musicians do shit like that too. Like Dave Mustaine, fucking unmetal dude. You need
He's
to be.
not the only one in that.
No,
band.
I know.
Did you read the other headline today?
Oh no.
Fucking David Ellefson, the bass player.
Uh-huh.
I gotta find this quick.
Oh my god.
He's
just David Ellefson quoted, Hitler was right. Like, no!
No, it's... you do know that David Ellefson is an ordained, minister, though?
Okay, sure.
That's why they got back together.
Oh, okay.
God got them back together.
God wanted me to return to metal.
They wanted to hear fucking architecture of aggression with the original bass player.
Hangar 18 was incomplete without me on bass.
I'm just starting to read some of these heavy metal headlines, too, because they're funny. Frank Bello, the bass player from Anthrax, says Anthrax would love to work with Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Don't hold your breath.
Well, Metallica wanted to, and they did, and they're a big name.
The former Motorhead drummer meets the Lemmy statue. Says hi. Says hi to his Lemmy statue. Doesn't look bad, I guess.
Poor Lemmy.
Yeah,
he rocked his way into the grave.
He didn't want to end up on a hospital bed.
That's true. He fucking went out champ.
He was just like, you know what? I'm not getting the surgery. I'm not getting any surgery. I'm not even going to do anything healthy ever.
I'm going to actively shorten my life by my lifestyle choices. Fair enough.
And still make it to 70 by 3 days. But okay. Where is this thing? And you got there was another funny one. Avenged Sevenfold got drunk at the Hard Rock Cafe. And you know how they have a house.
Who's even at the Hard Rock Cafe? I've never even seen one that's open.
Not a lot of people.
They were just hanging out, getting their fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking merchandise.
And you should have seen the picture of their drinks on the table.
Sure, just fucking covered.
It was not like a lot of drinks that tough dudes would want.
It was just fucking margaritas.
It was margaritas and Bloody Marys and stuff. But just food coloring all over. And they got up on the house band and they play a horrible drunk version of Nightmare. And there's a video. It was pretty funny. But anyway, this has got to be the most. We're talking about being metal, unmetal.
Yeah.
This has got to be the worst headline I've seen in a long time. Megadeth bassist and Lutheran pastor David Ellefson to discuss theology of heavy metal lyrics. and there's even a quote in here that is just like, dude.
Okay, so unmetal.
Oh my god, this is awful.
But whether you be punk or whether you be metal, be punk or be metal. And not being that is being lame. You know what I mean?
He's giving a lecture on Martin Luther and the theology of heavy metal lyrics today.
Dear God.
Says Ellefson, the similarities are remarkable and fun for all. He's almost killed metal just by being just this. It could be over now.
I forget what metal band it was that said, it was maybe not Cannibal Corpse.
There's still these people who say that Metallica is the posers and Megadeth's the good shit. And I like Megadeth. But they got this Lutheran pastor running around talking about Martin Luther.
Have you been saved? No, I think that
Lars Ulrich's still banging escorts. What's more metal out of the two?
One of my favorite things was I think it was a 2012 presidency or a presidential election, and they were asking all these like metal bands who they supported in the presidential election, whatever, and all of them like, oh, you know, Mitt Romney, oh, you know, Barack Obama, oh, no comment, all this. My favorite was like this. I fucking don't even remember the name of this black metal band or whatever, but they were like Satan.
Oh,
and I was like, fuck yeah, that is the metal answer. Is that you should be like fucking Satan, anarchy rules. I'm like, yes, that is.
Is that the one where the guy's drinking that wine out of a chalice?
I don't fucking remember.
Or a wine glass, and he like sips it, and they're like, who will you be voting for? And he like takes a sip out of it, and he sets it down. And he's got like leather jacket.
Yeah.
On here. He goes, Satan.
I'm like, that's the fucking way to answer. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to get political here. Like, when people ask you, not that you can't be an activist and like an artist, but you shouldn't always mix the two. You should know when to do either.
Danzig's view on refugees and like POWs.
Sure.
Because they said, what do you think about the Iraq War? Like, because of the second war.
Sure.
And he's like, well, I don't talk about politics because my opinions aren't very popular. And they go like, if one were to pry, Glenn Danzig, what are your opinions on this war?
Yeah, sure.
Like, and he says, well, I don't understand like why we're trying to make them be our friends. I think if you're at war, you should just kill everybody. Just kill everybody.
Fucking Danzig for you.
Like, that's kind of brilliant, though.
Kill them all. All right, that's it. We're done. Okay, it's going now. So.
All right.
Woo! I gotta collect the stuff that I put at the end after the credits.
That's right.
Yeah. So, what did you want to talk about before we start?
Well, I thought we'd kick it off with the Tila Tequila.
Okay, the Tequila Chronicles. Let me actually. I gotta plug headphones into this one, so I can hear us live. So I can adjust levels live. I'm actually gonna sit here and I can watch them too, so I can tell if it's getting too loud or too quiet. It's the beauty of not recording over the internet, is that I can actually adjust the levels live as I see them rather than having one person being too loud or too quiet, and I can't really hear it when it's going, you know, so the live mix. This cat is smelly. He's rolling around on the floor. All right, want a sip of the High Life here to start us off?
What's that?
A little sip of the High Life for the working man. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.